Hi there, it's Nancy, and I'd like to show you a technique that I use when I'm stemming paper flowers. This one I've done already. It's finished. It's one of the roses that I've made, and we have 2 leaves on it. So what we need to do that, the supplies: green florist tape, wire cutters, and a pair of needle nose pliers. Your leaves and your flowers, of course, a chenille stem, a glue gun, and some wire, and a piercing tool. Higher the number of the wire, the thinner it is. So this is the 22. Is that what I said? This is the 22. It's thinner. This is the 20. And I also have something over here just to show you the difference. This is a 26, and this one is really, really flexible. This is great for when you're making bows and things like that. The 20 gauge, which is thicker, it's a little harder to bend. It's a little sturdier. So these are really good for what we're going to be doing today. This is what I'm going to show you how to make the leaf and the stem. So first, for the technique of the wrapping. I used to be a floral designer, and this is basically the same way that you use to stem real flowers. So for this one, this is going to be the wire for the leaves. And I'm going to show you this first so you can see the technique of how I wrap the wire with the tape. For the leaf, I do the whole wire first so that it has a more finished look, and it helps also to stick into the glue. So for this, you take the wire, put the tape right to the edge of it, and we're going to pinch the end and roll through with these 2 fingers as we're pulling tightly with this side. So we're going to pinch and roll and pull this down at an angle. Now this tape, it's kind of like a sticky, papery, stretchy tape, and it does stick to itself, but the trick is to pull. If you don't pull it tight enough, it's not going to stick. So we're going to pull and twist it all the way down the wire, and then all the way to the end, and then you just rip it off. Okay, so there we have it, our taped wire. So for the leaves, what we're going to do, I have cut this one a little bit smaller. You can just glue your leaf right to the wire, but then from the back you're going to see a big hunker of glue and the wire. I like to kind of cover it up and have it look a little bit nicer. Plus, over time, it has a tendency to pop off. So if we double leaf it, like so, it's sturdier and it looks nice coming and going, as they say. So, oops, wrong one. We'll make our little line up the center on this and on this one, and give them a little fold. So now they're going to fit inside of each other with the wire sandwiched in between. So a little line of glue, and put our wire right in there. And then we're going to glue up this leaf really well so that they hold together good. And I'm going to put this guy right in here like this and cover it up. And pinch it all together. And I've cut it, like I said, a little bit smaller because when you bend it in, because of the bend, it's going to want to push forward and you won't see it from the front. But if you do, you could just make a couple little trims and trim it up so it looks pretty. Alright, you're going to want to let that sit and dry before you start spinning it and putting it onto your flower. So this is the leaf complete. Okay, so here's a flower that I'm going to stem, already done and hot glued together. So before you put your stamens in the center, what you're going to do is take your tool and get the glue off the tip, poke it right down through the center, and push it all the way through. Give it a twist, get it in there good, and spin it, pull it out, and you have a hole. Now, with your thinner wire, you will take your needle nose pliers And I'm just going to move this pad so we have a white background and hopefully you can see. You're just going to make a hook at the end, a little J shape. And then you're going to grab that hook in your pliers and bend it at a 90-degree angle. So this is what you end up with. Okay? I hope you can see that. Show it to you from all the angles, so hopefully you get it. Pretty simple. Okay? And now we put the wire down through the hole, and before you pull it all the way in, take the hot glue, a little dab will do ya, and pull it down into the middle. Okay, so while your glue is still hot, I have these little stamens here that I rolled up, and we can just stick that right down on top of there, and voila, it'll cover up the wire and you don't even see it. And you can put a couple of these in, and you can put the other stamens on it. You can put a crystal or a pearl in the center there also to dress it up and fancy it up, whatever you'd like to do. Okay, so now that we have our taping technique down, this is going to be a little tricky to show you with the flower in the way. You start at the top, and again you're just going to gather a little bit of the tape up at the top so you have something to grab onto, and just sort of pinch it together and roll it between your fingers. Tuck that under, and pinch and roll. Pinch and roll again. Pinch and roll, and pull the tape down as you're going. Pull it fairly tightly, because that's how it's going to stick and stay on. If it's not tight enough, it's going to start unrolling from this end. Okay. Now it's good as it is. If you want to leave it like that, you can. I like a little bit of a thicker stem, so then I take a chenille, any color you have, because it's going to be covered by the tape. I just so happen to have green. Line it up with your wire, and do the same thing again. You're just going to cover it up, pinch at the top, pinch and twist and roll. Pinch, twist, pull tight, and roll. And there we go. Now our leaves, I did these earlier so they'd be nice and dry, because as you spin them, the back end will fly off if the glue is not dry. So you want to line it up at the top. Leave maybe about a ½ inch, 3/4 of an inch of the leaf stem open, and start your taping at that point. Tape it together, and again, you're just pinching it and rolling it. And then you're going to take your next leaf, stick it on the other side, a little bit lower, and do the same thing. Leave a little bit of room. Start your tape around. And there you have it. You're going to shape your leaves up a little bit, and ready to go into a vase or any other project, bouquet. I hope that helped you out. If you have any questions, feel free to send me a message. Thanks. Bye.